Hey everybody, Agent of Doubt here, world's worst SGW, worst at it, and it's obvious because I haven't posted in a couple weeks, but hear me out, I had a really good reason. So, I have some ailing family members that I wanted to go visit for Thanksgiving, and I was on this road trip, and, I only told a few people I was going, and I stopped at a few places, but for the most part, I wanted to keep it a secret because, the internet has people who like to just fuck with people's plans, be it something as simple as just letting the cat out of the bag for a surprise visit, or, trying to interfere with what I'm trying to do. Because people just like to reach out and touch someone, and know that they have flexed their keyboard muscles and affected something in the real world. And it's, very real possibilities sometimes that that'll happen to you just when you least expect it. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to take a break from the internet, from everything, and go on a little vacation. And I took a nice long road trip. And I didn't post any videos while I was on the road because that would have betrayed that I was on a road trip. And I decided maybe it's best that I don't this time let anyone know that I'm gone, because what I was doing was very important to me. Now, I ended up sitting with a loved one for a while that I don't think will be very long for this world. And at one point, I even had to call an ambulance and then flag down the ambulance because of where I was, and help that person get to the hospital. And there was a little scare there. I was kind of worried because, there was a reason why I decided to go now, to go see them. I just had that feeling like, I don't like funerals because you're just hanging out with everybody who they basically they're there after the fact, and everybody who really cared probably showed up and spent time with the person, and has their own memories, and everybody who didn't see the person for years just ends up at the funeral, and I don't like that. I don't like hanging out with a lot of those people, so I decided I'll do my own thing. And since I had this notion that, it's probably the right time to go, I did. But yeah, that was me. There's my truck. There's the ambulance I had to send out to the hospital with my loved one. And yeah, I took a picture in that moment because they were already loaded up in the back of the truck, and I actually had to tell people who I usually joke around with and play practical jokes on that no, this is serious this time. Like the whole boy who cried wolf thing. So I took that picture in that moment just to say, no, like, there's an ambulance right here in the driveway. That's my truck. There's the ambulance. And so yeah, everything was okay though, and my Thanksgiving dinner went off without a hitch. I saw another family member who was 10 years older now, and was allowed at the adult table, instead of the kiddie table, and was drinking a beer across from me. And it just disturbed me because, one, I'm an addiction counselor, right? and I deal with drunk people all the time. But two, the last time I saw this person, they were very much underage, and now they're of age to drink, and it kind of disturbed me, like how time flies. So in that moment, I decided to reach in my pocket and pull out my plastic cockroach that I had in my pocket, and I put it in the top of her beer, and it was kind of poking out the top, and some other people at the table saw me do it, and we all just kind of waited for her to notice that it was there, and when she did, the scream was very satisfying. I must say that was like probably my best memory of the entire Thanksgiving dinner. But she was game to be, have a joke played on her and whatnot. So I was thankful for that. I had another buddy that I wasn't able to spend time with because the timing of my road trip just ended up being the same time that person got COVID, and so that didn't work out for me. So I could have had better memories, but even the best laid plans these days, they can fall apart because of COVID. But the person that I put the cockroach in the top of her beer, I actually asked her, because she was going to a Friendsgiving where some more of my family were at. I asked her to take the plastic cockroach and put it in the bathroom of the place that she was going to, inside the toilet paper roll, so that when someone pulls on the toilet paper and it rolls around, the cockroach might fall out. Or when they change the toilet paper and they dump out the old cardboard tube, then the roach might fall out onto their hand, however it goes off. But she actually did it, and then she sent me a picture of the plastic cockroach in the tube. It's there, right? And so it's hard to see, but yeah, I was very impressed, and so I got a 2-for-1 for that plastic cockroach. They're very cheap, but they're a hoot. And on my long car drive back after my Thanksgiving with some family and hanging out with people that were important to me, and I just wanted to know that I had at least made an effort to take some time out of my busy work schedule to see them. After all that, I was on my road trip back, and I realized that I had kept this whole trip, personal to me, because it was more for my own safety of like being able to pull off what I wanted to do. But there's also, this changing feeling I have about YouTube, about how you guys don't want to see any vulnerable times that I have. You want to see me as some sort of highfalutin internet troll, I guess. And yeah, that's not the real me all the time. I do troll even in real life, but it's not the whole me. And when I feel like presenting more of me than what you guys want to see, it ends up actually backfiring, and people are less likely to watch my content and whatnot. And a lot of what was going on in this past 2 weeks was, you know, very humbling content, if you want to call it content. If the entirety of your life is content, if everything is copy, then I just had some real moments that, even if I shared them, they wouldn't really play that well to this audience because I'm actually a human being, you know? And I thought about how when some people want to reach out and touch people in those moments and try to, kick people when they're down and stuff, it empowers them to know that they did something to the real world. And over the course of that long road trip, I actually was equating that sort of thought to just people thinking that they can change the world like that mentality that, by what we're doing here on YouTube and all of the gestures that we do that are just, very small compared to what you can do in your real life. People that think that they can just change the world with a hashtag, they're the same people that like to reach out and touch someone. Many times it's with cancel culture, and that term gets used as a slur against a lot of people on the left, but it's just as prominent on the right, I can tell you. People really want for people to be accessible to their whim and accessible to justice by the mob on the internet. But then when you want to actually be a human being and be multifaceted and show different parts of yourself, they kind of turn away. They don't want you to be a human being. They want you to be one-dimensional. And when they attack you or support you, they want you to be what they want you to be instead of what you are. So, yeah. Those are just the thoughts of a very long 1,000-mile trek. And hopefully it'll be a while before I have to make that trek again, because I know why I'll be having to make it. And it'll be painful.